Hi, Haley here. Today I am going to show you how to work a garter tab. A garter tab makes a nice seamless beginning for top-down shawls, and it starts with a provisional cast on. My garter tab is going to be 3 stitches wide, so I have provisionally cast on 3 stitches, and my pattern called for me to knit 13 rows so that I have this nice section of garter stitch right here. My pattern calls for me to pick up 5 stitches, and if you notice, I actually have 6 garter ridges here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means to pick up 5 stitches, I'm going to pick up a stitch in each valley between the garter ridges. So at the end of the last row, I won't turn my work. Rather, I will come down into my work, into my first valley, insert the needle, wrap the yarn around it, and pull it up through. I'm going to do that with each of my 5 stitches. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now you can see the garter stitching is going to wrap along this way, but I need to continue on onto the other end of the garter stitch here. So that is why I worked a provisional cast on. I'm going to turn my work here so that I can undo that provisional cast on. I'm going to take, I'm using a double point here, but you would use the other end of your circular needle or your other straight. And if you see, the provisional cast on is actually running this direction, so that means I'm going to start with the last stitches that I did first. So I'm going to unpick the little knot that I made when I ended the crocheted provisional. And to undo the couple of chain stitches that I did. First strand is going to be the tail. I'm going to get that out of the way. And then this is my first live stitch right here. So I'm going to go into that. Then pull on my waste yarn to take it out of that stitch. And voila! Here's my second stitch. And the very last stitch is going to be a little bit tight. It is a half loop that's at the end. You can see it right there. I'm going to try to catch that from the front. There. And remove the waste yarn. And now I'm going to knit across with my working yarn the stitches that were provisionally cast on. And there it is, a garter tab. Now there is definitely a right side and a wrong side to the garter tab. You will see where I picked up stitches, it leaves a ridge here. You really want that to fall at the back of your work. So usually patterns will call for the second row, I should say the first row after the pickup, to be a purl row. And that's the reason for that. It just isn't very good looking on the back side. And that's about all there is to it. Thank you very much and happy stitching!